Finally, got them. They're there. So, let me show you. I'm stood on the top of the balcony at the moment, just looking down at what will be Reasons Fitness, the very first Reasons Fitness gym. So this is the second video where Jordan's here. Say hello, mate.
Hello.
He's back, and today we're going to be filming a video that's going to get a lot of information out about the journey that I and this business has been on in the last 10 years, really. So this is what we're going to talk about today and share a little bit of the journey to help you guys understand that it's not all as easy as it seems. People get shocked when I tell them that I have days where I feel like shit. People get shocked when I say that I get anxious. I get nervous and stressed out about things. I'm a human being just like you, and I want to share a little bit of the journey so that you're aware of what has actually happened and the ups and the downs to get us to this stage now. Today is the 29th of October, and we've been negotiating this change of use with the council now for 8 weeks. I called them yesterday, and they've told me that there will be there's a deadline set for November the 23rd, so we should find out in the next 4 weeks the result of that, and then we can move from this studio into the new one, and we can open our very first public gym. Hey, here I am, looking all conspicuous in the dark in my car. We've just come out of the meeting with the council where they had to decide whether they would let us have change of use on Unit 1 Parnell Court. Well, guess what? They gave it to us, so we've got it. This now means that it's becoming a reality. Reasons Fitness, as it will be called, will be born some point in 2012. It is now December the 15th, and I'm feeling pretty good right now. It's been a long process, and a lot of time and effort has gone into it, and at times I felt like I wanted to shout, scream, cry even perhaps, but it's done. Yeah, let's go upstairs. Let's go to the gym. So this place here, the gym itself has been open for about 6 years, and the journey to getting it to where it is now wasn't always straightforward. So that in the first place, the very first step of this was coming up with the ideas, coming up with the concepts, what we would do, how we would do it. Would we do memberships? Would we do pay as you go? Would we have personal trainers? Would we have staff? Like all of that took like about a year to come up with like the plan, and then you had to find the money. And finding the money to start something like this, there's a few options that you can do. So I'm proud to say that we funded this ourselves with the help of one individual, and well, a few individuals, but particularly one individual, which was my granddad. And my granddad was so in on this, like he was so behind me with this whole process. He was going to back me, you know, he was going to help me with business. He was a successful business person himself, and I learned a lot from him. And this guy, he's ex-sergeant major in the army. He taught me the value of money. I used to go around his house when I was little and do like little jobs, and I think I'd done all right, and then he'd come out and be like, what do you call this? You know, if you don't pick up the rest of these leaves in 5 minutes, you're not getting any pocket money. So you know, he taught me hard work, and I just admired the guy so much. I mean, I'm not going to take you down sob story lane here, but a month before we were going live with this whole thing, he passed away, and you know, it was massive pressure. I'm not even going to go down the sob story road here. This is about the pressure that I felt from having the investment from him, and then putting it into this without any of his help, without any of his guidance, and then all of a sudden this pressure of this business like venture, where I'm signing these papers for the lease of this building to say that if it doesn't work, I am the one who they come to get the repayments. I had to sign paper to say that, put myself on the line 100%, all the money on the line, and there was the emotional pressure of that, the psychological pressure was huge, and that's why I look like shit in that video. I fully believe in myself, but it's just daunting when you think about the risks that are involved with doing this. It's a big financial risk. But if I want to be where I want to be in the future, then I need to take these risks in order to learn from it. And yeah, my grandfather passed away, granddad. I used my share of my inheritance
from him to put towards the business, which he was fully backing. Before he passed away, he was going to invest himself, so I feel very even more motivated to do it, I think is the way to put it. Not pressured. I could have put that towards a house or whatever, but I decided to put it towards what I want long term, which is to be able to choose what I want to be doing really and have a successful business.
This isn't something that just happened for me. I worked for it and it wasn't always easy. It had a lot of stuff going on, and I hope that that brings some context to you as just to how I felt as a younger version of myself back in 2012. And if it hadn't have happened, we would not be standing here right now. So this is where, so this room here, this unit, the second unit, we've only been in this one for 4 years, so after 2 years we realised that we needed to expand and grow to really meet our goals. Plus the opportunity came because this became empty. And there was actually a ladies only gym in here, it was called Curves, and it had been empty for like a year. So we were like, well, it's kind of a no-brainer, we've got this space next door. So we went for all the permissions to get the wall knocked down, to get the doorway built, because it was just a wall there, and obviously now there's a door. And we thought, right, let's get these classes on the go, let's start doing the Les Mills classes because we know they're the best, and that's when I started teaching them again, because I'd stopped for 4 years. And we got Kelly in here with her silks, and she got 3 silks, because originally she was in the gym, just 1 silk in the middle of the gym. So that was a massive, massive increase, and we had to go and get another like 200 members. But this is also the room where the workshop is going to take place on Saturday. So Transformation Workshop will be here, I'll be right here, I'll be up there, I'll be talking to the guys who'll be sat here on some nice chairs, and 2.5 hours of workshop content. The guys are going to leave with a 90-day plan of action to help them get results. So actually one thing that we can share on this video here is how having Kelly working here, my wife, is amazing, because we get to be in the same building as each other, get to go to work at the same place. We don't really see each other, like we don't really talk when we're here, which can be quite a weird situation, because we can sort of say, on one hand, we don't see each other much, but then on the other hand, we sort of say, well, we see each other every day, but it's not quality time, so it's even more reason to have the quality time, which is really important. And we're both running businesses, and we also both have our little lad who's 1, had his birthday the weekend. We're fairly flexible, but having said that, there's always stuff that comes up. There's always like meetings that have to be had, or Kelly has to do like extra sessions, or she'll get a private client wants to book in, or I'll get a private client wants to book in. And it's just really important, because this all of this means absolutely shit all if the family balance isn't there, and because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. You know, it's about the time you spend with your loved ones, it's about creating memories. So usually you go into business so you can have that flexibility, not have someone to answer to, a boss or whatever, but you end up being a slave to your own business, which is weird. When you're in business, it's kind of just life. It's not a work-life balance, it's just everything, because very rarely will this ever stop. You know, if I wanted to, if I didn't stop myself, I could be on this from first thing in the morning to literally last thing at night, and I'd always find something to do. And that isn't playing shit like games. I haven't got time for that, but I'd always find something to do, always, because it doesn't stop. It's 24/7. It really is. You have to be so strict, and the family thing is really important. It has to be the priority, the driving force for the rest of it. What we need to do here is, especially when I'm talking like this, is just go with it. Like, this is the whole point, is to talk like this, not to be so like set up and perfect. And I mean, you did your video, which was exactly the point. It's not about polished, perfect videos. It's about being able to give you an honest representation of what's going on. So this will be common. This will be something that you'll see a lot more, especially if people are starting to get a little bit bored of the fake, and they're starting to look in, seeing the falseness in other people's videos and what they create. It's starting to expose them. So the true stuff will shine through, and that's what we're hoping to do here.
The fake videos, when people see that, it's the expectations really high.
Yeah.
To see how great it looks, but when it actually goes like out, it's not. It's nothing to do with like the videos you just see. So this is getting like a more real sort of look into it.
It's real life. Me and Kelly talk about this. We hashtag the real life quite a lot when like we get something that happens at home with Lincoln, or because if she's in that world, she's got like 5,000-6,000 almost followers on Instagram. She's getting sent free clothes from these companies and stuff, and she's now in that position where she could turn into a douche, right? So she could end up being this blonde-haired, blue-eyed, pretty girl that can do these amazing physical things, and be too false about it. And that might be great in the short term, but I think she knows, and I definitely know, that that's not the way it's going to pan out in the next few years. Those people are going to get found out, and those people, they're not going to be the ones that hold the real value, because they aren't actually living in the same sort of way as you guys are, like everyday people. That's why I'm so honest about what happens in terms of the good and the bad. Finally, got them. They're there. So, I'm going to show you. I'm stood on the top of the balcony at the moment, just looking down at what will be Reasons Fitness, the very first Reasons Fitness gym. Just like at the start, 10 years ago, when I went to New Zealand, I thought, like, this is my fucking destiny to go here. I'm supposed to be on this plane. I'm supposed to do these things. I can't explain it. It just feels like I'm living a story that's already written. And that's what I feel like now. So to make that useful for you, because otherwise it might just seem like all this like shit that I'm talking, if there's something that you feel like you should do, if there's something that's pulling you, it's not about push, it's about pull. Whatever it is that's pulling you, you got to find that thing, and you just got to give it some effort, and you got to give it some time, and you got to give it some energy, and you've also got to be prepared to be kicked a few times, because it isn't going to be easy, but it's so worth it. That's the thing. You do what you love. It's always good, even when it's bad. It's good. Any more buckets? We need another bucket. That's been there for about a minute. And yeah, I can't give it enough oomph that you got to find that thing that pulls you and just go with it. 100% go with it. And that's one of the things that motivates me. I'm not wasting any time because there's another Tommy somewhere else, and he wants the same thing. There's another 100, and they all want the same thing as me. I'm the one that's going to get it, and I won't stop until it happens, you know, because that's how motivated I am towards it. It just feels right. And just keep following that feeling. Yeah, hope that makes sense. Hope that makes sense. Like 1 minute or 30 seconds, or even now, because I think we're filming now, aren't we?
Yeah. Cool, great. I think the most unique thing is our membership here, between how many females and males we have here, which I think is incredible. What Tommy, Terry and Andy have built is amazing. Most gyms you'd look at, I'd say probably 30% females, and we're probably 50-50, I'd say, the same as the staff, and it creates such a friendly environment for everyone to be here.
Back when I started, which was about 5.5 years ago, the area itself was a bit different in terms of PT, in terms of gyms in the area. I think everyone's specific qualifications and their skill set has adapted to how it is in like 2017.
It was our first one. From day one.
Day one, when the doors opened, February 12.
I mean, how long have you been working here now? Like,
just over 2.5 years.
2.5 years.
When I first started as a college student. Yeah, it's a little while ago now.
Sam actually started as a work experience student.
That would have been nearly 4 years ago now.
And then he was so good that when we had a job position come up, we wanted him to be. He wasn't even qualified.
No.
But he had just had the right stuff. So we were right. We'd rather have this kid come in, get him qualified, and then get him working, get him in the job.
Yeah, no, I remember it. Yeah. And I was like, oh god, Tommy's got me. I was like, alright, you're right, Tommy. You're like, what are you doing tonight? And I was like, not much. You're like, do you want to come get some hours down behind the desk? I was like, yeah, right. He's like, cool, yeah. We've got a job going if you wanted it. So I started doing some more like that, and yeah, it just went step by step, and it was like, yeah, it built up to where I am now. The thing I noticed when I was work experience here for that 1 week, I was so like surprised that the staff actually knew everyone's names. that was like legit one of the things I was like, oh, okay, this is actually like a really nice place to be. They gave me a task on work experience to try and learn people's names and like actually call them by their names. It was one of the scariest things. I was like, why? But it's, yeah, that's one of the things that stood out to me. I don't, especially with like a mind like Tommy's behind the company, it's never going to get to the point where it's just stagnant and nothing new's happening. You know, you're always looking to develop it in something else. So
yeah, that's what we've done over the years.
Yeah.
We've always tried to get that next thing. Hence, with the gym in the first place from the PT studio, it just wasn't fulfilling to have that. I wanted a gym, and then had the unit, and it was like, well, this isn't big enough. We need more.
Unit 2, let's go.
Yeah, we need
Straight
more.
through.
We need classes. I forget you're 20. I do, because that's weird. Actually, putting that into perspective, I was 20 when I came back from New Zealand. So we referenced that in the video. So it's talking about how September is 10 years since I went to New Zealand.
Yeah.
2007.
Right.
And I mean,
I don't.
You are the sort of person that I want here, because you have the same mindset as what I had back then, because you're just hungry for more and you just want to do your best. Hey buddy, you alright?
Yeah.
I remember if Andy was here as well, he would absolutely vouch for me on this, but we used to have little team meetings, which would be Terry, Andy and I, and when we were PTing together in the studio, and there was one where Terry was so depressed. I'm laughing about it because it's a thing we laugh about now, but he was just like, I haven't got any money, I can't, what did you say? It was something like, I can't buy my mum it was like something fucking random.
Yeah, it was because it comes up, it's around the time of my birthday, like in a month's time, and I'd gone through a year of doing, like, trying to grind out, get some clients, build it up a little bit, and I went up and I went right back down, and I hit a low point in like September time, and I was like, I can't afford to get presents, I can't afford to like live. It's been a year, I've tried it, it's never going to work, it's never going to happen. But then I like gave myself an ultimatum and was like, make this work, or this is what you want to do. You just got to make it work.
Yeah.
You've got to do it somehow. Like other people do it, why can't I?
Yeah.
And then I remember by November, I went September I had 5 hours of clients.
Yeah.
By November I had 13. January was 15, and then I never dropped under 15 ever since.
Ever since.
Yeah.
7 years, like solid.
Yeah.
Of successful PT business.
Yeah, and it's grown since then, and it goes up and down like it always does with business. But I just always remember that, and I was like, I do not ever want to be there again.
Yeah.
And it's like that mentality that I've done some things along the way as well that I would not recommend in terms of like business. Like probably like 2 years into it, I decided to get 5,000
leaflet drop.
I did door-to-door leaflet dropping and
Did you get your hand bitten off or something?
Yeah, I had to go to hospital because a dog bit me through a letterbox, and I got 1 hour of PT off of that.
Amazing.
But
It was so adamant about those leaflets though. And he got them, we were like, are you sure that's a good use of your time? And it's like, yeah, but if I get just 10% of return off these leaflets.
But yeah, you learn.
You don't know until you try, do you?
Yeah, exactly. You learn along the way. So it's been so good. And even now, like we literally was talking to Megan on Saturday about whenever it gets this time of year and it starts getting colder. All my like long-term clients who have had like 6-7 years always remember the shed.
This is what we've been using as a temporary space. It's a bit cold. It's a shed.
What are we doing now?
It's basically a shed. We've made it into a studio for the last few months. Now we're finally getting everything out. It's a big relief.
We used to train
Fucking shed.
with ice on the kettlebells,
Yeah.
and I'd have my hat and my scarf on, and a big pulse jacket, wasn't it?
Yeah. We had too much stuff and too many clients to have everyone in that one place. So there was this old shed out the back, and we thought, well, let's just put some mats in there, put some equipment in there, and use that. So there was like vines coming through the cracks. There was like one plug, so we could have a heater and like one light.
Yeah.
And it was so cold, and there was rust on the bars.
Yeah, the bars of kettlebells would get rusty because the ice was on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
bad.
our clients still turned
They
up
still
and
trained,
still trained.
still trained.
And like, again, people don't know about that.
Yeah,
They don't know about that. Like a few people know about
Yeah.
those days.
and it's easy to kind of walk into a gym which seems like it's, you know, hustling and bustling and it's really busy and stuff like that. But again, like they don't see where it come from, how long it's taken.
Yeah.
And the times of the day when perhaps it's not so busy and where you're thinking, you know, what do I do next? How can we get that busy there? Or when's the next class that we can fill a gap with, or
Yeah.
whatever it might be. Like they just come and go, oh, that's busy, you know,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
doing well in here, and it's like,
Yeah, see, I told you.
yeah, it's
How's it going?
It's always like that.
Yeah. It's been a hell of a journey,
Yeah, but good, an amazing one.
and we're ready for the next 5-10 years. Infinite Pulse is going to change. No longer going to be called Infinite Pulse, it's called Reasons Fitness, and it's going to be good. I'm very excited about that. So we're just going to go and get these kids now. Bye bye.
Now on one bar.
Really? Yeah, awesome. I can sense it. It's all a bit mad in here today, 17th of Feb. 8 days till we open. I'm just going to show you some progress. Keep your ears covered, it's loud. How are we getting on? Yeah? You on camera?
The hardcore weight training area, as you can see, at the moment it's a tube.
Let's get in there.
Feel lucky that I've got the privilege, you know, and the opportunity to do it. Something I've always wanted to do. And I'm looking forward to stepping up as a businessman and hopefully learning some skills that can benefit me financially in the future to sort of, you know, relay that information onto others. You know, more of a coaching role, business and more of a life coaching.